guys, happy Saturday, the 14th of December, and we're in the Super Duty, as if you couldn't already tell from the noise. We're on the road, and we got this kind. Now, an hour ago, these roads were wet and clean. It's about noon. We got about an inch and a half of snow overnight. It's been real cold, down in the 20s or high teens. So the amount of salt that was built up on the parking lots was pretty good. So everything today melted pretty quick. And now we have the rest of our snow coming here. I guess they're calling this one a panhandle hook. It's coming, low pressure coming up from Texas and hooking around and smacking us. So they were forecasting like 3 to 5 inches or 5 to 8 inches or some bullshit like that. I'm gonna guesstimate that we see 3 or 4 inches max out of this. It's already noon. This is not lake effect snow, so it's hard to say. It's just going to be a light, steady snow like this all day, but it's real wet, so it will accumulate fairly well. It's hanging just under freezing, so this stuff is real greasy. And it's nice stuff to plow, though, because it sticks together. So I'm going to just let you guys stare out at the road here for a minute or two, and we'll continue the chat. I'm happy to report that yesterday's video changing the receptacle end, or plug end, excuse me, on the, oh geez, you have to excuse me, my brain's kind of fried this morning, on the block heater. Took me a while to get that spit out. That plug-in, by changing it and testing it prior to changing it to make sure the wire was good up to the heater itself, worked great this morning. It was about 25 when I went out this morning, and this thing fired up like it was running 5 minutes ago. It made heat in about a mile and a half down the road, so I like that kind. The truck thanks me. Definitely easier starts, easier on the engine, and I like that. I like having heat, so that all worked out great. So we got a Christmas party here tonight to go to. I don't know if this weather is going to permit or prohibit me from attending. I think we'll be okay because it's a Saturday. A lot of the stuff that I'm taking care of today is on a per call sort of basis. Funeral homes got visitation hours this afternoon. I did plow them this morning. In fact, I plowed everything this morning. We only had a couple of inches salted. Like I said, it was looking good. So we're going to go back, and the hours start at about 1 o'clock, and it's just afternoon now, and I'm going to clean up the lanes a little bit and throw a little more salt out there just to try and keep it from getting too greasy. The snow's going to pile up. There's nothing I can do about that. Once the parking lots get cars in them, about all you can do is scoop out the drive lanes and call it happy. So that's what we're going to do. There shouldn't be any cars really in there yet. The office buildings that are part of their parking lot that I take care of will probably be full of cars. There's a beauty salon and flower shop and things like that. So I'm sure there'll be people in and out of there, but we'll try and do a run through on that and get it cleaned up, you know, the best I can here. Doing this during the day, because especially around Christmas time, people are out talking on their phones and shopping and doing what they do and not paying attention and forgetting how to drive and thinking that they're more important than the guy working clearing the roads. So we're just gonna do the best we can in and be very careful. It's not uncommon for somebody to sneak up on me in one of these parking lots and get in my blind spot, so I usually go at it pretty slow, because I've had a few encounters over the years of disgruntled people MFing me, saying I almost hit them, that I should look where I'm going. Well, the fact of the matter is, when you see my flashing lights and beacons and all that, that you should proceed with caution, because I do believe that orange flashing lights mean caution. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. But like I said, we're going to take it easy, we're going to be safe. I'm going to cut you guys loose now, and I'll bring you back after a bit. We'll see you in a bit. Here you guys are. Alright, we're back at it. We're in the clear. We're scraping about somewhere between another inch and 2 inches off of this parking lot that was plowed and salted 8 o'clock this morning. Again, it's not bad. It's when you have a lot of people who aren't sure-footed walking around on your parking lot, like to keep it as clean as you can. So here we are. Got visitation hours going on here till 5 o'clock, something like that. So please excuse the bouncy cam. So temperature's still pretty warm now that the truck's really not moving fast. It says it's 36, which I know is not true. It's not that warm out. It's right about 30, 31 degrees out. So it's not too bad. It's almost too warm to not have the window down, but the problem is this stuff's so wet. Pouring in my window, and I really don't feel like destroying my power windows and locks and mirror controls with all that water, so I'll leave the window rolled up here. Luckily for me, there's not a bunch of cars in here, and I've already got the major part of the parking area for patrons cleared out. Of course, I'll still have to go back and throw some more salt over it, and hopefully it'll start to bite. I really hate to throw a lot of salt down on it, because it's already got a bunch on it. It's just the snow was coming down fast enough that it didn't bite through it. It was clear earlier this morning, but I think I was talking about it in a previous video. Some of these parking lots are so washboarded that the snow doesn't clear from all the low areas, so you're always going to have a little bit of snow scum on the parking lot, unless the salt can do its job, because the plow certainly can't scrape it down all the way. Even though this looks like a really nice parking lot and a really nice place, the latter of the two is true. It's a very nice building, but the parking lot is just taking its toll. It's been resurfaced many a time, and it seems to me like when it gets resurfaced, they put like an inch of fresh over the whole thing, and what ends up happening is all the bad spots in the parking lot just show right back through it. It really needs to be rebased, but I don't think that's going to happen in my career here, so do with what we have, I suppose. Isn't that the way you're supposed to do it? Make do with what you got. As little snow is on the parking lot, it's pushing like there's a lot more here, because it's just really full of moisture. knock on wood, the truck's running good. I'm gonna have to put some diesel gas in her here before too long. Down to about half a tank. I only got about 25 gallons left in her. This truck's got an oversized 46-gallon tank, and it's got the factory sending unit in it, so it ends up, when it hits empty, it's still got like 15 gallons left in it, which I guess is good. Chances of running out of fuel are sort of slim. But of course, we got a creeper here. Oh yeah. He didn't like his other parking spots, so now he's gonna pull into that one. I like that kind. Can't make up your fucking mind. And then he pulls 3 feet short of the end of the parking lot, so even though he's driving a Ranger, he's gonna be sticking out. Which ain't gonna be my problem after too long, because in the middle of the night when I come back to push this off again, I feel a wheel hop there. She's slick. Shouldn't be a problem. These cars will be gone. That black SUV sitting over there has been sitting there for like 3 weeks. I have no idea who the hell it belongs to. And that kind of stuff pisses me off, because when you get a vehicle in here that parks like that, I guess I'm pretty spoiled. This place normally has 0 cars in it, so it's not an easy push with all the islands, and when you throw a car in it, it just makes it sort of a headache. It's not horrible though. I've plowed much worse places for much less money, so we can't complain about that. But that was back in the day. I also used to run these trucks a hell of a lot harder. Although it's daytime and there's a lot of traffic around, I'm taking it even more easy than I normally would. If I get in a rush, I have to go, but basically I'm fishing out all these areas and pushing them into the open where I can get rid of the snow. That's what makes this a lot hard. I don't like stacking a bunch of snow on these islands because there's landscaping in them. And although a lot of the stuff is fairly hardy, I really hate to destroy any landscaping if I can avoid it. This hill tends to be fun at times. You're like in a toboggan chute here. And hopefully my ass is sticking out of here far enough. Somebody's coming around that bend, they can see the trucks here and they don't come plowing into me. That's the other crappy part about plowing this place in the day. There's a couple of good blind spots in it, and no matter how careful you are, somebody always thinks they're more important, so I guess I could safely say it's kind of strange. It's one of the biggest shopping weeks before Christmas, and there's not nearly as many people on the streets as I anticipated today. I thought this place would be a fucking nightmare. So notice I'm back dragging away from this entrance, partially because the snow's not packed down. It's got a bunch of salt underneath it, so it comes up easy enough. I'm just trying to get myself enough room so I can turn the truck around and not hang the ass of the truck in the street, because I really don't like that. That can be fairly dangerous. This is a main street in Medina and can get busy at times. The way the lights are timed, sometimes the light stays green for a long time and I can't get out. So it's just easier to back blade it off, drag it in, and deal with it that way than it is to try and back into the street and push up. The other problem is I have to push snow up this hill so I don't create a visibility hazard down at the street. Back when I first started, we used to push, partially because it was too difficult to carry it up the hill and we didn't have wings on our plows and things to carry it. We used to plow all this down the hill toward where I'm at right now. And that was a real treat. And then we'd stack it at the entrance and push it off in the lawn, but we've since gotten away from that. So I will not be backing down that driveway. I will be going out the other driveway and coming back in that one. It's just not worth sliding down and hitting the building or hitting that wall. I think I talked about it before years ago, 5 years ago. I hit the building over here, the office buildings. I slid in the dump truck. I couldn't get the dump truck to stop, and it was like slow motion. I was going like 1 mile an hour. So when the dump truck finally came to rest, it was the tailgate was against the corner of the building, and it shook it just hard enough to crack the outer block fascia and dislodge the window. I believe that was Black Friday like 5 years ago. And that's the only thing I've ever really hit and caused that much damage. I probably caused $6,000 or $7,000 worth of damage. In 20 years. All on the same day, which sucked, but I guess I'd rather have one oopsie from toward some people that are very understanding, and that's what you pay for insurance for. So don't think this is all $100 bills falling from the sky, because it certainly is not. My business liability insurance is I carry $1 million worth of liability insurance and another $1 million of umbrella coverage for the just in case. So it is certainly not all profit from here. You guys can see the trailer that I painted last winter or the winter before. It might have been 2 years ago. I can't remember when I painted that trailer. We're going to have to get that thing out of here because that's taking up prime snow stacking real estate. I am going to back up a little bit here, but I'm not going all the way down that hill. I just started to lose a little bit of the snow off the side of the moldboard, coming up just over the crest of it here. She's a snake out. Slick, slick, slick. Stuff is just, it's like wallpaper paste or mashed potatoes or something. I mean, it's just slop. This would be shitty stuff to ski in. No fun at all. Although, I guess I'd rather ski in this than ski on ice, because that's no fun. Speaking of skiing, haven't done that in a long time. I have to get the old sticks out and see if I can't break something. Alright, here we go. When I get just about to the edge over there, there's some 34 wash gravel, and I'll start to pick the plow up, and as you're picking it up, it'll actually ride up the snow that's already sitting there. Too far back because I don't want it piled up against these plants. A couple lilacs back there that don't like that kind, especially when this stuff gets full of salt. That's not good for business. Now, had I not salted this morning, there'd probably be twice as much snow I'd be pushing. So that's the other reason we put the salt down, because it makes a big difference. Well, that's it for the time being here. I'm going to work over in these office buildings and do a little bit of cleanup here, tidy it up the best I can, and yeah, what the hell, I'll leave the camera rolling. Might be a long, boring video, but we'll get something going here for you guys. This is another one. This is a little bit of a curve coming out of here. That's a pain in the ass to plow, but dragging it in is quite a bit safer from my standpoint, so we'll drag what we can in. This way when we get too many cars going up and down the street, you can see the traffic going by. There's just no way to back in and out here. And for what little extra of a nice job it does, it's not worth the headache. Pushed out the best I can here. The spot where I'm pushing it is where that flower delivery van's been sitting. Honestly, there's only a couple people working here today. I don't know if they're actually open, if they're just trying to get caught up and make a couple deliveries. Not exactly sure. I do know one thing. Oh, you fucking gotta be kidding me. That's right. Pick a spot. There you go. See what I mean, guys? This is why it gets to be a real pain in the ass. Because people don't pay attention to what the fuck they're doing. That person just sat there like a bump on a log, waiting for me to run into them. 'Tis the season. This little area I'm scraping off now, it's got a drain in the middle of it, and it's kind of V'd out, so it doesn't even scrape all the snow out of it. So we'll just put her on back here, make sure nobody's sneaking out, trying to get behind the old Super Duty here. Never pretend to know what the hell people are thinking. Kind of like that fucking yahoo right there. Nice work, idiot. You're sitting right in the middle of the driveway. This is where I'm talking about. I was backing around like this, watching my mirrors. When I caught the corner of the building out of the corner of my eye, so I decided to stop. I started stopping when I was about 20 feet away, and it just right down this little incline with the snow just about like what we got today, except the dump truck weighs 10,000 empty, and when it started sliding, it wasn't stopping. And that, my friends, is history. Those are phone calls I don't like to make at 6 o'clock in the morning to wake somebody up to tell them I ran into their fucking building. But it was better that I told him than to wait for him to show up for work and be like, what the deuce? Could have blamed it on the garbage truck, dumpsters back there, but that's not the way the Velvethamma rolls. I'd like to have the job next year. Truth is the best policy. Also not piling snow, there's these trees and these little islands here. We used to have a bunch of older maples in that set of islands there. About, I guess it's been 4 years ago, they were getting to the point where they just weren't salvageable anymore. They had been trimmed and thinned so many times, and they just weren't coming back. So they took them all out. I bet we got probably 4 or 5 dump truck loads of firewood out of there, which is pretty sweet. I don't do much tree work. We had somebody else drop them and top them out, and then we took all the trunks, and I used that big 064 still with the 3-foot bar on it, and we chunked them up. And those rounds were every bit of 3 foot around. They were fun. I actually had to try and cross-cut them and quarter them with the saw so that we could actually get them up on the splitter, because our splitter doesn't have hydraulic tape on it. Which, for what little bit of firewood I split, unless I got a hell of a deal on one, I wouldn't even bother. So you guys pretty much did this whole place with me real time here this morning. Half of it at least. I didn't start the camera until I was halfway done. Until I knew I wasn't going to be fighting a ton of cars. So, alright, I'm going to cut this off. You guys are probably getting bored to shit. I'll talk to you later on.